Dragons are one of the most popular creatures to appear in all of fantasy, and seeing how Star Wars is science fantasy, there are multiple types of dragons within the galaxy. For this video, we'll go over the most common and notable types of dragons that have appeared in Star Wars. First, we have the Basiliscans, also known as the Lagartos war dragons. They were actually once a sentient species that were capable of building war machines, but that was before they were conquered by the Mandalorians. The Mandalorians enslaved these dragons and treated them as mere beasts, mounting upon them and using them for aerial fights during early history. They were eventually fully replaced by the Basilisk war droids, which the Mandalorians favored more. Second are the Dragons, which is spelt with an extra I. They were a species native to an unexplored water planet. During their trip to the Outer Rim planet Bandomir, Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon's transport ship was forced to make an emergency landing onto this water planet for repairs. These Dragons forced the crew and miners of the transport to hide within the caves during the day. As they began to attack them, Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon were forced to fend these beasts off for hours on end as they protected the openings of the caves. They killed scores of the beasts to the point where their bodies were piled up and blocked some of the entrances to the cave. Qui-Gon was even able to mind control and ride one of these Dragons in an attempt to quickly get off a mountain into the caves. Third are the Battle Hydras. These two-headed dragons were created by the Sith Lord Exar Kun through Sith alchemy to help him in battle. After he died, only a few of these dragons remained on the moon Yavin 4, where they mainly hid within the mountains and only came out to hunt. However, when Luke Skywalker started his new Jedi Order on Yavin 4, many of these Battle Hydras attacked his students when they were controlled by Exar Kun's spirit. After Exar Kun's spirit was finally defeated, these dragons remained docile and were believed to have eventually died off. Fourth, we have the Rancor Dragons. They were mutated rancors that possessed wings that were created through alchemy. They were smaller than regular rancors, and they were used as mounts by some of the very first Jedi. Fifth are the Duin Yuogwins, also known as Star Dragons. They were some of the most powerful and largest dragons in the galaxy. They could fly in the vacuum of space and were capable of spitting powerful fire out of their mouths. Star Dragons were also sentient and were very mysterious about who they were, and very little is known about their origin or purpose. Two actually served as Jedi, one of which was killed by General Grievous during the Clone Wars. Sixth are the Arcanian Dragons. They were a semi-sentient, fire-breathing species of dragons that were native to the planet Arcania. Because they were semi-sentient, the Galactic Republic made it illegal to hunt them. The way they fought inspired Jedi Master Arca Jeth to develop a lightsaber training technique based on their movements. Seventh are the Menagerie Dragons. These dragons were used in battle by the ancient Sith Lord Malachite, who empowered them through the dark side of the Force. If you're looking to find dragons, then the forest moon of Endor is where you'd want to be. The moon had at least 3 different dragon species native to it. First are the Condor Dragons. They were pretty small compared to the other dragons on this list, and they mainly stayed in caves. Their main food source were giant cave spiders, though there were cases where they ate Ewoks. Second are the Mantigrews. They came in a variety of colors and mainly lived on top of cliffs or in the deep woods. They were known to terrorize the Ewoks, which made the Ewoks believe that the Mantigrews served the evil Night Spirit. Third are the Devil Beasts. They were known to eat young Ewoks. Some of them were controlled by the Quarks, who used them to fight against the Ewoks. The next set of dragons do not have wings, but were classified as dragons nonetheless. First, there are the Dragon Snakes. These massive beasts stayed deep within swamps, and were native to Dagobah, with a few being transported to Nal Hutta. A variant of these dragon snakes actually attacked Obi-Wan and Quinlan Vos when they were on Nal Hutta. Second are the Krayt Dragons. They were some of the largest land creatures native to Tatooine, being able to grow up to 45 meters in length. They typically ate anything that came in their path, and were known to wipe out entire Tusken Raider camps. Some daring Tusken Raiders actually hunted these dragons as a means to prove their warrior prowess. There were 2 subspecies of Krayt Dragons. The first one was known as the Canyon Krayt Dragon. As the name implies, it lived within the canyons of Tatooine. They were smaller than the regular Krayt Dragon, and they typically only ate womp rats or banthas. The other one was the Greater Krayt Dragon. They were over twice the size of the regular krayt dragons and had 10 legs. They spent most of their time swimming in the sand of the massive deserts of Tatooine, and were known to even hunt sarlacc pits. We then have the Panna Dragon. They lived on Panna Prime and stayed within the planet's vast oceans. They apparently ate metal and had skin strong enough to withstand blaster bolts. There are also the Sea Dragons, which were massive aquatic reptiles that were native to the ocean world Drexel. They were sentient beings that at one point helped a group of people that called themselves Dragon Lords overthrow the oppressive government on their planet. Finally, we have the UB's Thorn Black War Dragons. They were violent beasts that were brought onto unsuspecting planets during the Clone Wars by a traveler named Nomad Daemon. They brought unrelenting chaos to the unfortunate planets that they were on. Once the Clone Wars was over, the newly formed Imperial army went out and killed most of these dragons, and brought peace to the planets that they were once harming. Only a few survived, and were taken in as pets or as war beasts by some warriors. Thanks for watching this video. Be sure to subscribe for more videos like this one. And as always, may the Force be with you.